What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Becoming Roy podcast. I'm your host, Roy, and this show exists to help people discover who it is that they're made to be. And to do that by sharing the journey that I'm on, becoming the person I feel I'm made to be, by sharing the little bit that I know and some of my experiences, and by having conversations with people that are living inspired lives. Now, I'm super hyped because my last episode, I had S-tier guest. Shout out Thatch, shout out Hendy. We dove in on some health and some goals and different things. And it was so cool because I've been looking forward to interviewing them for quite some time, and it finally happened. And I was pretty hyped. And so if you're new here because of that last episode, welcome. I want to encourage you actually to start from the beginning if this show interests you at all. It's really cool to see the progression of episode 1 to episode whatever this is, 17. It's really cool. And that kind of goes into the documenting the journey and sharing the journey that I'm on, because my big dream, my big goal is to become an effective communicator and to inspire people. So I actually don't really edit the podcast. This is actually my third time hitting record. I got like 10 minutes in both times. I was like, oh, I'm rambling. And I want to be able to have a normal conversation, but also have a clear stream of consciousness where we can get to point A to point B. And it, like, I respect your time and your attention, because it's crazy to me that anyone is actually watching. I don't know who's watching. I think it's me and my mom and a couple others. Maybe my mom. I don't even know. But it's cool. So if you're new here, start at the beginning. A quick intro is I'm really just trying to get healthy. I want to inspire people and I want to get healthy, and I'm sharing my journey. And health to me, I'm looking at it as physical, mental, spiritual, vocational, relational, and financial. Okay. So just pursuing goals in those 6 areas and just kind of sharing my journey. I'm trying to lose 100 pounds. I'm not trying. I am currently losing 100 pounds. I want to be more responsible with my money. I want to be good at my job. I want to be an effective communicator, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that is the show. If you're new here, welcome. I'm hyped that you're here. Now, for today's episode, I'm gone back and forth about what to talk about. I have 2 ideas, and I'm going to go with the better one, and the other one will be the next episode. But at the time of this recording, it is Mother's Day. First and foremost, happy Mother's Day to all the moms, to all the people that are missing moms, to all the people that want to be moms, everyone with a mother's heart. Happy Mother's Day to you. And I thought today would be a cool day. What better day, what more fitting time than to talk about my mom. Shout out mom. Shout out Mama Bear. Now, this whole show is about me becoming and inspiring, but there are a sect of people that have influenced and impacted me in a way that, like, right now today, I like who I am today. I have a lot of work to do to get to where I want to be, but I genuinely like the person that I am, and it's because of a handful of people. And my mom is one of the most influential people in my entire life. I mean, she's up there with my dad. She's up there with my grandma. She's up there with me. I mean, that's probably the top 3. And I want to talk about my mom and tell you about mom, because my mom's story is insane. She has her PhD. She is a drug dealer. I mean, she's a pharmacist. What's the difference? That's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. Government, if you're listening, it's a joke. But yeah, my mom actually had me at 17 years old. So I've been at all of her graduations, high school, and all the college graduations she did. And she just lived I'm going to interview my mom one day so you can get the full story. I don't want to share anything she wouldn't want to share, but she beat the statistics. She was supposed to be a statistic. She should not be successful, and she is. And she's just so resilient, and so, like, resilient is the best word. Like, she's so steady. And there have been a lot of things that have happened that, like, she could have faltered or move or whatever, and she just stays grounded. And so I'm going to talk about the 3 things. I didn't want to think too hard on this, but these are like 3 things that I've learned from my mom that I still carry with me into my adult life. So we're going to hop right in. Mom, I love you. The first thing that I remember, and these aren't like the most important things, these are just the three things that came to my mind first when I had the idea of sharing about my mom. Now, the first thing that my mom taught me that I remember so vividly, we used to drive a gold Ford Escort. If you know what that is, it's not a nice car. It was not a nice car. And I remember we pulled into a car wash, and my mom said, if we don't take care of this car and we don't clean this car, why would we take care or clean the car that we want? And she essentially said, we should take care of what we have like it's the thing that we want. It might not be what you want, but when we treat it that way, I don't quite know how to articulate anything more, but to take care of what you have, to love and steward and take care of whatever it is that you have, like it's the thing that you want. And honestly, I see parallels in that idea of what I talked about a couple episodes ago about like what I want is already there. Like Roy is already there. 50-year-old Roy, when I've made more progress on my goals, that's like he's already inside. I just got to get him out. And so it's being steady. It's being steady. So take care of what you have like it's the thing that you want. That's the first thing. The second thing that my mom taught me, this story, this saga, if you will, this principle is so dramatic and it's so long, and it's like happened many times, and it's essentially our family, like all families, have had some rough patches, and sometimes people are hard to love, or they're annoying, or they do you wrong, or they hurt your feelings. And there was one instance where some of that was happening. I mean, just normal family stuff, nothing, you know what I'm saying? And my mom, I just heard her say this phrase so many times, that love keeps no record of wrong. She said, love keeps no record of wrong. I will not record this. I'm not going to write this down and keep this long list of things of people that are wronging me. And some of them I was like, Mom, come on, like that's pretty petty. Like you can remember that wrong. That's like kind of wrong, or that's not great. That's not ideal. And my mom, just like with conviction and tears in her eyes, like I've heard her say so many times, like love keeps no record of wrong. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, like if that phrase just doesn't sound familiar to you, it's something in the Bible for us that subscribe to Christianity or just are acquainted with Christianity. There's a passage that talks about what love is. Love is patient, love is kind, it's just a long list of things about what love is. And one of the descriptors of what love is love keeps no record of wrong. And my mom would just quote that. And that blew my mind, because sometimes I was like, Mom, like, come on, this is a little it's getting annoying, and just she would forgive. And it's just the principle that love keeps no record of wrong. And what's beautiful about that is I know she meant it, and she did. And I was just like, wow, that's crazy. And what's beautiful too about that is I know some of you are like, ooh, I don't know if I like that. Like there's obviously times and places when you gotta cut something off, or you need to set some boundaries, or you need to stick up for yourself like that. Love keeping no record of wrong is not a license for people to walk all over you. Like, come on, we gotta have some self-respect. There are some, gosh, I'm struggling for words today. It's not licensed for you to be walked all over. Okay. And what's beautiful is my mom would say that, but she was sticking up for herself, or she would not just let things happen. She'd be like, no, I'm not going to keep a record of wrong, but that is wrong, and would respond accordingly. It's just this mindset of forgiveness, and this mindset of I'm not going to hold this against you. Choosing forgiveness over and over and over again. And I think that's so beautiful, because I don't know that I would have done the same in some of those situations. So those are two things. The last thing, number 3, just going off the top of my dome, mostly because it's been weeks since I've put out a podcast and I need to get something out. I'm going for repetition. And so the third thing that I thought of sharing is my mom. Like I said, she's a pharmacist. And there was a time when she and my father had started, I think they actually still have it, they're relaunching it, a pharmacy technician college. If you're interested in pharmacy, being a pharmacy tech, or want to be a pharmacist and want to start as a tech, let me know. There's an online course that they have. I can get you signed up today. Use code. There's no code, actually. This is all, the code is fake, but there really is a course that you can actually sign up for if that interests you at all. But my parents, that's what they did for a long time, is they had the school, and there was a time when it was a lot of classroom stuff, and they would host graduations, and my mom would speak. My mom's an amazing speaker. My mom's a very great communicator. I love her speeches. They're thought through, good stories. She always knows how to use her tone to suck in the audience, to bring them in. And I could go on. I could go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And so some of my communication aspirations do come from my mom. But it was one of these graduations. We were at Katie's Cup coffee shop in Rockford, Illinois. Shout out Katie's Cup. I've had a lot of cool things happen at Katie's Cup. And my mom's doing a little graduation. What is it called when you do a speech at the graduation? And she would always try to depart a lesson with her students. And this graduating class, my mom was talking about the mountaintop and the valley and the contrast of the mountaintop and the valley. And graduation is a mountaintop moment. It's a high. It's something worth celebrating. And I think there are other things like that where we feel just like this is a high of life. I just got married, or I just got engaged, or I just got the new car or the new job, or whatever those highs are. Those highs are great. But what my mom said is that look around at the top of the mountaintop. There's not a lot of life on top of the mountain. Think of stories you've heard of people summiting mountains. You have a time window. You got to get there and you got to get back, because if the sun sets, you're cooked. Things don't live up there. There aren't a lot of animals up there. There aren't a lot of trees. Things aren't growing. And in some of the really dramatic cases, there are people that have not made it, used as landmarkers on some of these treks. And so the point is you go to the mountaintop and you get perspective, and you see what's coming, and you see what's ahead. And when you contrast the mountaintop with the valley has a lot of life, a lot of critters, a lot of creatures, all different kinds of animals. You've got greenery, you got rivers, you got creeks. You've got so much happening. And sometimes it's muddy in the valley. Sometimes I feel like people hear valley, especially in Christian circles, are they think valley and it's immediately the valley of the shadow of death. That's not always the case. Sometimes valleys are just lower. But there's life, and that's where growing happens. So I remember my mom sharing this idea with these young adults. And for some reason, that's just always stuck with me. That you can't survive on top of the mountain. The mountaintops are for perspective. The mountaintops are to help you see what's ahead. Mountaintops are for appreciating beauty. But you've got to go back down. Because growth doesn't happen on top of the mountain. Life doesn't happen on top of the mountain. Growth happens. Green happens. Life happens testing, repetition happens. All of that happens down here in the valley. And for whatever reason, that's just really stuck with me. Get perspective and then keep it moving. Got to get moving. And so I could probably, if I spent a little bit more time thinking about it, I could probably come up with another 10 things that I've learned from my mom. But it's those 3 things just came to mind first. Damn it, a freaking yawn. I'm trying to get better at this, guys. But I actually have recorded 2 other episodes, and I was like, I'm not sharing those because they were so bad. So I'm pushing through the not ideal moments by just sharing this. And so, yeah, I could spend more time talking about my mom and things she's done. I do want to interview her though, so maybe she can tell the story. It's a great story. It's a great, great, great story. I hope to be half of what my mother is, for sure. And yeah, so to recap, take care of what you have today like it's the thing that you want. Remember that true love. I don't even want to say true love, just love. Love doesn't keep a record of wrong. That doesn't mean get walked all over. Set your boundaries, but don't keep a list of wrongdoing for the people that you love. And lastly, life doesn't happen on top of the mountain. Growth, life, all of that happens in the valley. Get perspective and keep it moving. And that's all I have today. Pretty quick, short episode. Had to get my rep in. Okay. Another episode down. And I already have my next episode planned. So I'll film it in the next couple of days. Get that sent out to you guys. If you have any topics, if you have any questions, maybe start sending me questions. Maybe we'll do a Q&A. I don't know who's listening to this. Who actually cares? I'm hoping to have some more guests on pretty soon. Work that interviewer muscle. But also, it's been really cool to actually talk to people. I have episodes on community, why we need people. Go give that a listen. But until then, control what you can control. Make it a great day. Apply what you need to apply. And I'll see you on the next one.